up on today's show, we'll be reviewing the Singapore Grand Prix. Leandra's in the team's race support room at the factory, and I'll have all the facts you need to know for this weekend's race in Suzuka. Let's get on with the show. So can you believe it? We've already had 13 races this season and we've only got 6 more races to look forward to. Leandra has done a review of the Singapore Grand Prix and this is what we learned from the race at the weekend.
It was a very difficult weekend for our Silver Arrows. The Singapore Grand Prix saw Lewis's first DNF of the year, with him experiencing a lack of power due to a freak component failure, which ultimately led to him retiring from the race in lap 32. Nico, on the other hand, finished 4th, cutting down Lewis's championship lead to 41 points. What does this mean? Well, clearly the fight for the title isn't over yet, especially with Sebastian Vettel winning the Singapore Grand Prix. We're bound to see some eventful races as Nico and Lewis battle it out in the next 6 rounds.
So as I said, we've only got 6 races until the end of the season, and that's only 67 sleeps until the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. That's pretty exciting. What's even more exciting is that we're going to have some back-to-back races now, and Japan is one of them. So Leandra's gone back to the factory to find out how the team prepares for international back-to-back races.
Hey guys, I'm here at the factory with one of the team's race engineers. So how does the team prepare for back-to-back races from a personnel point of view?
Well, there's not much change from a personnel point of view. It's the same people who do the race at the track, and it's in essence the same people who do the race in race support. You prepare in that, you prepare your simulations and you prepare your data earlier. You make sure that all of your simulations are done a couple of weeks ahead of time so that you don't have to do them whilst the event is going on. But otherwise it's just another race. You just have less time between the first race that's just finished and the next race to go through what happened in this case in Singapore to get ready before Suzuka.
And what are some of the greatest challenges?
Suzuka, getting up on time. You have to go to work at midnight, which isn't easy. But it's just staying focused. Don't let tiredness get in the way. Just stay focused for all the time that you're here, and then you get your rest when you come home. It's a bit strange because you get up in the middle of the night and you have to tell your body it is now the morning and I'm starting a day of work. Other than that, it's not difficult. It's a matter of just staying on top of the ball.
How do back-to-back races influence your work?
They don't really change what I do. They're just part of the game. It's actually a way of getting 2 races out of the way a bit quicker, but they don't really change anything to what I do.
And finally, would you trade in one of the back-to-back races for a quiet weekend at home with a good beer?
I don't drink beer, so that would be an unfair trade. No, I don't think I would trade the back-to-back races. It's part of what we do. Is also sometimes just push yourself hard to the limit of what you can do, and a back-to-back race is in essence sort of the endurance event of what we do as engineers. We just keep on powering through and do our work, and then you just get on with it. It's not a problem.
Thanks so much. Keep watching. I'll be back with more from the factory later in the show.
So now we know how the team is preparing for this weekend's race, I want to talk about the circuit. Suzuka circuit is one of the only tracks in the world that is a figure of 8, which means, yep, you've guessed it, it goes anti-clockwise as well as clockwise. The track is 5.807 kilometers long and the drivers should complete 53 laps of it. What weather can we expect? Well, the race is being held slightly earlier than it was last year, which means we should expect some warmer temperatures, but rain always threatens in Suzuka, so who knows how it will affect the tyre strategies. So now we know all the facts and figures for this weekend's race, I want to know what the current Formula 1 world champion Lewis Hamilton thinks about this incredible track.
Patience. Control. Strength. Confidence is everything. This is my circuit, this is my lap. Find the flow to get it right. Konnichiwa, Suzuka in Japan, let's get started. One of the greatest tracks, if not the greatest track in the world. It's great for overtaking. Check out on the simulator, I think it's 8 and 9, where you kind of breaking through a right-hander and then into another right-hander. So this is really a track that confidence is everything.
Now, have you ever wondered what happens at the factory while a race is going on? Well, Leandra has gone to the team's HQ to find out what goes on in the race support room.
This is the race support room where all the off-track magic happens, and I want to know exactly what happens in here on race weekends. Let's head inside. What will be going on in the race support room this weekend?
Well, same as for every race, we'll be supporting the event live. That means supporting every session live, getting the telemetry data, analysing the data, providing an advisory side from the factory to the track as to how can we change the setup to optimise the performance of the car, what do we need to do, are we okay on certain metrics of the car, are we okay on cooling, are we okay on brakes, and basically be part of the engineering team at the track. We're literally just an extended office. We sit somewhere else, but in terms of how we communicate with the people, they can't tell whether we sit at the back of the truck or on the other side of the world.
And how do you divide the responsibilities between the team at the factory and the team at the track?
The team at the track have the very clear responsibility. They need to get the car on the track. They're responsible for the car. The car needs to be legal, the car needs to be driving, and needs to be out on track. Our role is advising. Our role is not making sure that the car goes out, because we can't physically touch it, we can't change it, we can't make sure it's in perfect condition. But what we can do is look at the data, sort of take a step back or two steps back, look at the big picture and see how do we need to look at the data, how do we need to improve the performance of the car, what do we need to do globally with our tools available to make the car the quickest we can.
Other things that you know here that the guys and girls at the track don't know?
There shouldn't be. If there's anything we know that they don't know, then it's either performance we're holding back or reliability we're not giving them, and then we're not on our job. No, there shouldn't be anything that we know that they don't know. It can be the other way around. They can see something on the car which just hasn't filtered through back to us yet, but there's nothing going the other way in terms of not going to the track. Everything that we know, we bring forward.
Thanks so much for the great insight. I'll let you get back to work now. Back to the studio.
That's it for this week's Studio Show. If you're in Suzuka this weekend, why not take a picture and send it to us at media@shortformmedia.london. And don't forget to comment below. Tell us what you thought of this week's show. I'll be back next week. Bye!